here's the crazy thing. This is a brand new DSiWare game, like in 2014. Here's the other crazy thing. This is just Battleship. Even though there's already a game called Battleship on the DS that you can play on your DSi, but this is actually the first Battleship game for the Nintendo DSi. It's crazy. Oh, last crazy thing? It's actually not bad. It's Sea Battle for the Nintendo DSi. This thing is, again, available on DSiWare, which means it's also available on the 3DS in the eShop. And it comes from the Polish publisher Teyon, who've just been pumping games onto these handhelds. Now, some of them are good, some of them aren't as good, but I think this is actually one of their better games. It's nothing fancy or original, and the presentation leaves a lot to be desired, but what really matters is it's fun. Sea Battle is a lot of fun, but that is, as long as you have a first mate to play with. So, if you've never played Battleship, I mean, holy shit, dude, you need to get on deck. Anyway, Battleship is a strategy game. You place a fleet of ships on a grid, and each one takes up a certain amount of squares. Your opponent does the same thing, but neither of you can see the other ships. So it's a mystery. It's one you can solve with a good strategy, and a little luck. You take turns picking squares on your opponent's grid, and if that square has a ship, that's a hit. Hit every part of every ship, and you sink them all and win the game. The greatest game of all time. Seriously, Battleship is on point. In fact, the first time I was ever impressed by technology was electronic talking Battleship. As a little kid, that was just... I mean, of course we can put a man on the moon. That was my response when I learned about Apollo 11. Tell me more about electronic talking Battleship. So again, Sea Battle is just Battleship for your DSi, or 3DS. And that'd be cool enough, to be honest, but the game actually takes things a step further. So you have the classic mode, which is basically the original Battleship, but there's also this modern mode, and that's where things get interesting. It's the same rules, same basic game, but with lots of gimmicks. So now you can actually place your ships diagonally, which, if you play Battleship, you know how fucking crazy that is. That changes everything. And that's just the beginning. You can also get these special shots, which take out like several squares at once. And that comes in handy, considering that you can adjust the size of the grids. And they get pretty big. I mean, look at this! So that's all great stuff, but, and I mentioned this earlier, it's only great to play if you have a friend. Sea Battle is awesome with multiplayer, but when you're playing by yourself, it all seems kind of pointless. I mean, the AI almost seems to throw the matches. It's like, it'll pick your ships right away, but then it just leaves them alone, and it doesn't finish them off. It's almost like pity, which, I don't need AI pity. This is definitely a multiplayer game. Single player is kind of disappointing. Speaking of disappointing, the presentation isn't that great either. I mean, the core game's a lot of fun, but it's not a very attractive interface. Simple graphics work, but simple, ugly graphics, not so much. And the sound isn't a whole lot better. I mean, the music gets repetitive pretty quickly, so it's one of those games you'll mute it almost immediately. And it doesn't say Battleship Sunk, which, I mean, that would have been the first thing I added. Look, it's not like this is some ultra-slick, ultra-polished game, but it plays pretty well, and with friends, it's actually a lot of fun. And really, for a $2 download, I mean, that's all that matters. Whether you're a 3DS owner looking for a cheap eShop game, or you're still clinging to your DSi, this is an easy game to recommend. It's Battleship with less cleanup for $2. And that's awesome. It's Sea Battle for the Nintendo DSi.